It was a peaceful arrest, first and foremost. The officer quickly recognized the male as the suspect from the shooting.
Yeah, he looked exactly like him.
Within several seconds of the first contact, he had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently. And that really invoked a physical reaction from the suspect.
The guy who shot the United Healthcare CEO has been making waves, but it seemed like they finally caught a person of interest, if not the actual person who committed this murder. So we about to see what they saying about him. The one thing I want to know is what was his motivation, and I think a lot of people want to know that too. So hopefully they give us that. Let's see. Yeah, it looked like him. That looked like him.
In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero.
Nah, he's not.
The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning.
Breaking details in the arrest of Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old man police believe shot and killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
It was a peaceful arrest, first and foremost. The officer quickly recognized the male as the suspect from the shooting.
Yeah, he looked exactly like him.
Within several seconds of the first contact, he had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently. And that really invoked a physical reaction from the suspect. He became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question.
Hold on, y'all. Let me put y'all on game for a minute. Now, if you in the passive income, making money by doing the bare minimum, you need to download Bitcoin mining, and here's why. Bitcoin mining is an app on your phone that does exactly what it says. It mines Bitcoin for you, right? And you can take whatever you mine off the app and put it in your actual Bitcoin wallet and convert it to cash. For example, I started with $0 on the app the first day, but I got up to 9 cents, right? But I wanted to see if the app was legit gonna put money into my Bitcoin wallet. So I withdrew 9 cents, right? And I waited for a minute to see if it would actually deposit in my Bitcoin wallet. And wouldn't you know, it put 9 cents into my Bitcoin wallet. That's how I knew this app was legit. You can watch ads on the app to make it print out Bitcoin even faster because they're profit sharing with you, right? But if you don't want to do that, you can straight up buy computing power to make it print Bitcoin even faster. I bought like $20 worth of computing power, but you can buy $10, $5, $100, $500, all the way up to $10,000. Can you imagine how fast you be printing out Bitcoin if you spend $10,000 on computing power? I'm gonna put the link in the description to download the app, and y'all just make sure to use my code because I do get paid from that. Because usually not putting ads on my videos yet, so I'm trying to do what I can. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Luigi Mangione is in custody in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He is the prime suspect in the execution-style killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan less than a week ago. The arrest came after a 5-day-long nationwide manhunt for a shooter whose name wasn't known until Monday. His face seen for only a brief moment when he dropped his mask during a visit to a hostel in New York City in November. After Brian Thompson was shot on a city street on December 4th, the search for the shooter began at 6:45 a.m., just after those shots were fired. The shooter fled on an electric bike into Central Park and then into a cab. Police said he then took a bus out of New York City. Saturday night, the NYPD released new photos showing the suspect wearing a surgical mask as he was getting into a cab. And then shortly after he entered, the camera in the cab capturing this crystal clear image of the man with the distinctive eyes and eyebrows.
He
Then Monday morning, a major break.
Directly at the camera.
A person called from a McDonald's in Altoona. The caller thought that he recognized a man in a mask.
When officers arrived, they made contact with the male who had a face mask on. That male was asked to remove his face mask, and officers immediately recognized him as a suspect in the New York City shooting in recent days. That male was asked for a form of identification. He then provided a fake identification card out of New Jersey.
And they were saying he had a fake ID too.
Determined that the ID provided was in fact a fake ID. and he was subsequently arrested for a forgery charge. Once he was taken into custody for that forgery charge, he was transported to the Altoona Police Department. Once at the Altoona Police Department, that mail was searched instant to arrest. It was discovered that he had a United States passport that identified him as, Luigi Mangione.
Luigi Mangione.
From there, continued search of his property. A firearm was located, and a suppressor was also located.
The New York
Damn,
Post
everything.
reported that Luigi Mangione had documents with him that were critical of the health insurance industry. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro condemned those who have been celebrating Brian Thompson's murder online.
Brian Thompson was a father to two. He was a husband.
Wait a minute, I don't mean to pause, y'all. Did they say he had numerous documents on the health industry? So if this guy, I got my Gary Vee up there. If this guy had numerous documents on the healthcare industry, either this dude was studying this stuff to figure out the location and everything about Brian, or he was gonna hit up more people. Because this dude seemed like he was highly calculated, but more than that, he seemed like he was highly motivated. And this is, and to be a hero, that's crazy, bro. I feel like the internet these days, this generation, the people my generation, the past generation, the newer generation, they never really lost nobody seriously, because they joke about death way too much, bro. They joke about death, and like you can't joke about death, man, because there's no coming back from that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Husband, and he was a friend to many.
Husband,
yes,
father, all that
he
stuff.
was the
And you
CEO
hate him because
of a
he's a
health
billionaire?
insurance
He's a
company.
millionaire, whatever?
In America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint.
Yeah.
I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system, and I have worked to address that throughout my career. But I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most. In a civil society, we are all less safe.
Mangione is 26 years old. He has a bachelor's and a master's degree from the University of Pennsylvania. He
And
had
what?
majored in computer science. I want to tell you about
Oh.
Upside. It's a free app that gets you cash back on things like gas.
You
and
literally
restaurants.
could have
It's
been
real
getting
cash
paid
back.
six
It's
figures
money that
and shit.
appears in your Upside app.
What the fuck
You
is
can
this,
transfer
man?
straight into your bank account. Duncan also use Upside to download Upscreen, first tank of gas. He's a retired NYPD detective. Dave, your first thoughts on this arrest?
Well, it's exactly what you expect to happen when you have law enforcement put all merits to bear, rubber to the road. The work that was done to get this person at least a photo of him was immense. It was a massive amount of work being done to go through all that video surveillance and the footage and the like, and to have it culminate to this apprehension, and eventually it looks like they're going to charge him with the murder. It's what you expected with the police department to do. When we look for someone, they're going to find them.
The McDonald's, the person at the McDonald's is what really gets me. I mean, that is just so impressive to me. This person saw who they believed to be the person in the photos, the person with the medical mask, the surgical mask, and those distinctive eyebrows, and of course the eyes. I mean, that's what got me when I saw the latest photograph that was
This
released
nigga
on
going to
Saturday, was
McDonald's and
the
shit.
eyes and the eyebrows. And so
You are a
this
fucking
person
idiot,
did
bro.
the absolute right thing. He called law enforcement. Law enforcement responded. They asked the person to take the mask down. They asked for ID. They said it was a fake ID. They went from there, and they're saying they found a ghost gun on him, which is incredibly disturbing because that's something that you could just make with a 3D printer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
That's
a
the
ghost
other
gun.
thing. And expecting the fact that you were possibly committed a murder and you keep the weapon with you, that's
Yeah.
very telling. in the
You
fact
are a
that,
fucking
you
idiot.
couldn't make a gun again.
Just telling you are
It
a
was
fucking
something he
idiot.
treasured a little bit. It operated, I guess, to what he thought it would. And was there anything beyond what he did on Wednesday morning? Was he thinking anything further than that? Because, you know, when you look at the manifesto, and apparently they're just doing a little digging in him,
Yeah,
his
manifesto.
anger toward corporations and the healthcare system was very vitriol, and that's something to be concerned about. But I will tell you, if the amount of work that was put in to get that photo out and to have someone call, that's why detectives, good old-fashioned police work, sometimes, even though all the technology is out there, it trumps it. And that video, that photo, thankfully somebody did say something, and it's great that they found somebody in Altoona.
Yeah, I wouldn't have found him if it wasn't somebody calling y'all. Detective work.
That is what is so amazing to me. I mean, with social media, with YouTube, all of these different ways that we communicate these days, and they put information out. Obviously, somebody saw the photo and they called. Had that person not called, had they not seen the photo, you know, this person, the suspect, doesn't sound like he's formally charged just yet, would still be on the loose.
So he's a fucking idiot. He's going to McDonald's.
That's the thing. Like I said, this person is dangerous.
With a go gun on him.
That's the reality. He committed a murder,
They gonna find
cold-blooded,
him.
calculated assassination of an individual, regardless of, you know, ideology or anything. He killed him in cold blood. He's going out he's out in the streets of New York. Then gets on, you know, looks like he gets on a bus, and you know the benefit of the technology out there to be able to track him from pre-shooting to post-shooting and thereafter is beneficial. But again, if it's not the public that's involved, no matter how many photos we have, how many stills we have out there, how many videos out there, if the public does not engage in helping the police apprehend people like this, murderers, it's much harder in law enforcement to do.
Law enforcement said that this investigation is not over. There are still a lot of questions. How did the shooter know that Brian Thompson would be in the location where he was? And they're still looking into whether or not there were potential accomplices here. What is your gut telling you on that? I mean, I don't know if I could get the schedule of a United Healthcare CEO and know that he would be out on the street at 6:44 in the morning on a Wednesday. I mean, where could he have gotten this information?
Well, that's the big question: was this public information that was out there, that there was a conference going to be held, that he was going to be speaking at it? That's something that I think police are still looking at, as to how he knew that and why then and there. He could have done it any time while he was in New York. He waited to that moment to do it. How did he know he was going to be there at that time? He went there early enough to wait for him, so he knows he's going to be leaving the hotel or leaving where he is.
Yeah.
So how to get this information? That's what I guarantee.
He went to the exact location.
As far as accomplices or people who participated or helped him in this, that's why you're going to scrub his social media accounts. You're going to do a background everywhere he's been since he was apparently in.
I live in the hood. I live in the hood. Okay, if I had a problem with somebody, I just simply can't walk outside and find them. You know what I'm saying? It's a small community too. It's like a few blocks. Now, if I'm beefing with somebody or if I want to find somebody, I could go to their house. But if they ain't there, what options do I have? I'm not gonna sit there and just, like, how do you find somebody like that? Like I said, this dude is very calculated and he is highly motivated. I don't know I want to know the motive. I want to know the motive, because the fact you went to the exact location he would be at in New York, one of the most busiest cities ever. You came from Pennsylvania all the way to New York and you hopped on cabs, buses, all this stuff to commit a murder. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy.
Philadelphia, they went to Altoona. Everything along those lines, anything he's had, any cell phones that he had that he used, anything that he had communications with, is going to be looked at.
He might as well tell him he's going to jail.
It isn't over because, you're 26 years old. How do you get a gun? Did you make it yourself? And if not, who helped you make it? Not only that, who helped you figure out where this person was going to be, the suspect was going to be at the time. The suspect gets there at the time of the shooting, within that half-hour time range.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well, it's so calculated. It's almost impressive.
Eventually talking. Is this somebody that you see, you know, he's a well-educated guy. He's 26 years old. He has a master's degree from the University of Pennsylvania. He went to a very good school, very good private school, upscale private school in Maryland. Is this somebody who eventually wants to say something? I mean, if he's got writings about the health insurance industry on him, he obviously has a message he
Yeah,
wants
see,
to
that's what I'm saying. He might as well tell.
Yeah, I was hoping that would happen, but apparently we're being told by at the press conference that he's no longer talking. So I don't know if he's not cooperating or he asked for an attorney. So once that happens, the attorney-client privilege, that's over. If he asks for a lawyer, then that's pretty much done. I would have thought he would have, given the fact of what you see him doing, you know, writing those words on the shell casings, the monopoly money on him could have been utilized, might have been something he wanted to use on, you know, after he shot the victim, throw him there. We don't know what he was going to do with that. And the manifesto and all these things, you were hoping that, you know, you're 26-year-old, you want to make a message or state your message. And given the fact, I guarantee you he was probably reading all of the messages on social media, kind of praising what he did, you know, committing a murder. I don't understand that, but
yeah, that's crazy.
He has a message. I was hoping he would bring it out and he would talk, but it looks like that's not going to happen in this case.
Well, Dave Sarney, we'll be keeping a very close eye on it. Thank you as always.
No, thank you very much for having me. Have a good night.
And law enforcement is asking that anyone who has information about...
What disgusts me the most, man, is people on the internet making fun of the situation, man. Like, most of these people probably don't even have United Healthcare as an insurance. I can see if you got health problems and they deny your claim, that has nothing to do with United Health or this guy. And as far as business, I completely understand it, you know what I'm saying? It may be fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But nobody deserves to be murdered over that, let alone murdered and be made fun of. Like, that's just straight up disgusting, bro. Like, that's fucked up.